Hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? This is Super Z2120, and I'm back with more awesome views. Make sure to check out my channel. And currently today, I'm going to be talking about the Nintendo NX. So there happens to be a rumor going on, and it's the fact that Nintendo is going to be coming out next year, they claim, with the Nintendo NX system, and people are saying that this is going to be Nintendo's dedicated home console. Now, in this rumor throughout the breakdown, this guy happens to say that the Nintendo NX will be less powerful than the PS4, and that's Nintendo's 9th generation console. And I might understand this might be his opinion. There's no actual fact to really prove it, but one thing I can definitely say to really put this to end, this actual rumor, is the fact that Nintendo Satoru Iwata, rest in peace Satoru Iwata, when he was at Nintendo still there, he happened to see that the Nintendo NX is not going to replace the Wii U, and that the Nintendo NX is not going to replace the 3DS. Literally destroying the fact of it ever even being a Nintendo 9th generation console. So the dude that was trying to say that it's going to be less powerful than the PS4, like, it really doesn't matter if it's less powerful than the PS4, simply because it's not going to be a dedicated console. It's not going to be a 3DS successor. It's not going to be a Wii U successor. And even if it was a successor to the 3DS, like, who cares? If I can have a 3DS equivalent to the power of the PS4, or a little less powerful, or even as powerful as the PS Vita, that's freaking amazing. I mean, it's going to be HD no matter what. Everything is HD nowadays, but basically what I'm trying to really say is that there's really no way that Nintendo will make a console, another console that would be less powerful than the PlayStation 4 for home console reasons. And the main reason why this actually came up is that there's a lot of gamers out there that happen to think that the Wii U is really underpowered. And this actually came from a spec list back in 2013 or 12, when people were basically saying that the Nintendo Wii U specs were equivalent to that of the Xbox 360. Well, I'm going to put that to an end simply because the specs that were unleashed were not based off of the Wii U's current performance. They were actually based off of the performance of a crappy port that came from the Xbox 360 and PS3. So how can you base a Wii U's overall performance when there were no specs given by Nintendo to actually give a reason? First of all, when they ported the game over from the Xbox 360, the 360 CPU is an in-order processor. The Wii U CPU is an out-of-order processor. The technology in the Wii U is from 2010/2011. The technology in the PS4 and Xbox One, I was about to say 720. That probably been better than the Xbox One, but the technology in that from those two systems is from 2011 as well. Now, what I'm trying to break down is the fact that, a lot of people don't understand the fact that those specs were based off of a crappy port and that Nintendo gave no specs of the Wii U. But there's something that we actually can really get is the fact that the Wii U's GPGPU, which is what's in the PS4 and Xbox One, GPGPUs, just like the PS4 and Xbox One, the Wii U has an out-of-order CPU, something that the last generation consoles did not have. And basically, one thing I also want to clarify is that the PS4 and Xbox One are nowhere near as powerful as what people try to make them really seem. The PS4 and the Xbox One might have Radeon 7000 series based GPUs, but their GPUs are laptop based. The PS4 has a Radeon 7970 GPGPU, I believe. No, wait, I apologize. A Radeon 7870. The PS4 is a Radeon 7870 GPGPU, and the Xbox One is a Radeon 7790 GPGPU. And these actual GPGPUs are laptop based, meaning that them being 7000 series GPUs are actually equivalent to a 6000 series GPGPU, because laptops and laptop graphical capabilities is a generation behind desktop PC versions, just like home consoles are a generation ahead of handheld consoles in terms of graphics. PS Vita has the graphics of the PS3, similar, very close. I like to call it the PS 2.5 graphics, pretty much in terms of processing power. The 3DS has the graphics of I like to say the 3DS is in the middle between the GameCube and the Wii. And that's basically kind of like how it is. Handhelds are always a generation behind the console manufacturers. And that's basically just the way it goes. And basically, I want to end the fact that the Wii U is underpowered. The PS4 and Xbox One might have 8 gigs of RAM, but their operating system on the Xbox One and the PS4 take up half their cores. 4 cores, about 2 cores, I believe, on PS4. Actually, 3 cores on PS4 taken up towards the system's iOS and the interface for x86, because x86 is extremely inefficient when it comes to gaming, because they're like actual computer-based architecture-based consoles, which the Wii U is like literally solely console-based, really. And that's really when I really wanted to get into it as well. And to say that the Wii U is underpowered because of those specs that are not legit is BS. I mean, the Wii U's CPU is actually a desktop-based CPU. The CPU might not run at a higher clock rate, but with it being CPU based off of an actual dedicated PC, the Wii U CPU core for core crushes the cores of the Xbox One and PS4 cores. The PS4 and Xbox One have a total of 8 cores, but 3 of the cores for PS4, like I said, is taken up for iOS, and 4 cores for Xbox One is taken up for the actual iOS of the system as well, for Windows 8, because Windows 8 is not very efficient as well. It takes up a lot of memory. It also takes up, I think, about 136 gigabits of your hard drive for Windows 8 and your Xbox One. And basically, another thing with the Xbox One is that 4 gigabits, I believe 4 gigabits of RAM is actually taken up for Xbox One. That's going dedicated yet again for the iOS. So the system was basically meant to be an all-in-one set-top box to allow it to be the most versatile console out of the 3. That's why if you play on Xbox One, you'll notice that it can actually switch the features a lot faster than the Wii U or the PS4 because it has half of its actual processing power dedicated to its iOS and multitasking capabilities. And that's really another thing I really want to get into. Now that we got all into that, the PS4 and Xbox One now have 4 gigs of RAM dedicated towards gaming. True, but games in general only take up 1 to 2 gigs of RAM. Even if the PS4 and Xbox One had 16 gigs of RAM or even 12 gigs of RAM, they'd only take up 2 gigs of RAM at max. And majority of the games out on consoles only take 1 gig of RAM. The rest of it's going to go towards screen buffers. It's basically going to be going towards the amounts of frames per second or the amounts of textures for HD capabilities. But even that's limited as well because if your GPU can't put out the kind of processing power to push out that certain amount of shaders, you're going to be limited. And the amount of RAM you're going to use is going to go to waste. So now the Xbox One, PS4 are only using 2 gigs of RAM, 1 to 2 gigs of RAM for gaming. And that other 2 gigs are being wasted or going towards screen buffer or they're going towards loading times. With the Wii U has 1.5 gigs of RAM dedicated towards gaming and 512 megabits dedicated towards iOS. With the Wii U using PowerPC, it's much more efficient than the other actual consoles. So that's a really huge advantage that the Wii U happens to really have over those particular systems as well. Now, going into the Nintendo NX, the Nintendo NX is not, like I said, not going to be a next generation 9th gen Nintendo console because Satoru Iwata already said it's not going to be a replacement of the Wii U or a replacement of the 3DS. So that clarifies it's not going to be a successor by any means. So it won't be Nintendo's 9th gen console. In my opinion, what I believe it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a companion. If you look at the PlayStation Vita, the PlayStation Vita, you'll notice that when the PS Vita was released, it wasn't doing that well because of Sony's software. So Sony basically released something called the PlayStation Vita TV. Now, what the PS Vita TV does is allows you to play your PS Vita games at home as on a PS3 controller, as well as play your PSP and some PS2 games as well with your actual system. You know, that's the system that allows you to do that. It's a streaming-based console. You know, it doesn't take physical data, and it's all stream-based. I believe Nintendo's going to use some kind of an idea like that. I believe it's going to be also like a hybrid, much more than just that. It's going to be a system that's going to allow gamers of Nintendo to basically stream their Wii U content and stream their 3DS content on the go or at home. So with the NX, even if the NX is less powerful than the PS4, like the Wii U is less powerful than the PS4, and the Xbox One is less powerful than the PS4, it's not going to be a device that's going to be console-based. It's going to be a stream-based console that's going to stream your Wii U games. So it really doesn't matter. The NX could be less powerful than the Wii U. As long as it's capable of streaming your Wii U games, it's all what matters. Because like I said, it's a companion-based device that's supposed to correlate perfectly well with the 3DS and the Wii U. And this might be some kind of experiment. An experiment that will allow gamers and consumers of Nintendo products currently to unify their account on one particular system. If you have 2 different accounts on your system, like my Wii U account, SuperZ2120, and then I have a different account on my 3DS. The accounts are different, but with this account, I'll be able to stream both these 2 devices and make them unified on that one particular product, which will be the Nintendo NX. With it being mobile, I think the NX might be about the size of the Wii U gamepad. This is going to have to be bigger than the, of course, it's going to have to be bigger than the 3DS, and smaller than the Wii U for it to be portable. And for it to be stream-based, it's going to be some system, like I said, to allow you to unify your accounts. Because obviously the Wii U was built from the ground hardware-wise, especially the 3DS does not allow you to do that. Like how the PS3 and 360 allows you to do that, and the PS4 and Xbox One. But yeah, it's basically my whole opinion. Nintendo, what they're going to do, they're going to make a device that allows you to stream on the go. It's going to be a hybrid between a handheld as well as a console. And yeah, it's not going to be a generation-based system. It's going to be a companion device. Nintendo's 8th generation machine is pretty much, I'd say, for my opinion, not going to be launched until 2018. Because they said that the Wii U would have a long life. And with the success of the Wii had a long life as well. The Wii lived for 6 years. The Wii U is going to live for 6 years, obviously. Every other Nintendo system only lived for 5 years. So it's definitely going to be on the market for 6 years. Of course, Nintendo's not going to have the Wii U on the market as long as the PS4 and Xbox One, simply because they don't have the third-party support. And Nintendo's not going to put out a next-generation, 9th-gen machine along with the successor of the 3DS to be putting their same franchises on those machines. They need to make a new idea like Nintendo does. That's what they're the best at. They're the best at exclusive IPs. They're the best at creating that amazing content that we can't get anywhere else. Because even if you don't like Nintendo, you can't get that content anywhere else. I love Nintendo. They're one of the most innovative companies, you know. And that's basically something I want to end. Really want to kill that rumor off. You know, cut the head off the snake. Definitely get that done. The NX, like I said, is not a successor to the Wii U or the 3DS. It's going to be a companion-based device. That's basically something I really want to get done. I want to go into the processing capabilities and just say the Wii U can run DirectX 11 equivalent capabilities. It can run games at native 1080p 60 frames. It's based off of 2011 based hardware like the PS4 and Xbox One. And the reason why it's not getting good third-party support has nothing to do about the system being weak. It has to do about the system having different architecture. It's PowerPC on the Wii U, and the other two systems are x86. And yeah, that's basically about it. You dudes and dudettes have a damn good day. Keep watching my videos, and I'm going to be doing some new Splatoon posts today, actually, and some new Batman Arkham Knight tomorrow. So make sure to stay tuned. This is Super Z 2120 signing out. Have a good day.